FlyQuest top laner Bwipo has been suspended by his org and apologized after an incredible amount of blowback for making remarks regarding women in competitive gaming, specifically insinuating that women shouldn't play competitive video games while on their periods.
There's a time in the month where you should not be playing competitive games as a woman, in my opinion. This is my experience, having lived with one a while. She played a lot of League Ranked. It was just like, it was really obvious when she was just getting super irritated at every little thing. And that's not trying to be sexist or anything, it's just the way it was.
So the first few seconds of that clip, it almost sounds like Bwipo is about to say something reasonable.
I think there's just not enough support for female pro players.
Really should have ended his sentence there, but instead Bwipo went on a rant about female anatomy, how their monthly cycles are different from men's, and that they don't have the proper support systems to deal with being on their periods while playing competitively. He continues saying that in his opinion, women should not play competitively while on their periods because of how tilting League can be. He instead suggests that maybe women should spend that time VOD reviewing, looking at the game, or even having separate accounts, once again, for when they're on their periods. In response, you had both men and women in the community point out the idiocy and ignorance of his statement. LS, who has defended Bwipo in the past, came out calling it not just gross, but suggesting it's those types of comments that make it difficult for women to succeed in these spaces. Shocks posted several TikToks in regards to the clip, calling it both reductive and dangerous.
Regardless, that's just such a crazy take, because what do you think women do? What do you think women do? Women are on their period bleeding buckets, having extreme pains that they have to take painkillers for, or maybe they don't, they are extremely tired and lethargic. They're out there running Olympic records, they're out there climbing the Mont Ventoux, they're out there putting in 24-hour shifts as a nurse, they're out there being a provider for 4 of their kids and also putting food on the table and dealing with all of that, caring for the elderly, being an executive at a huge company, being lawyers, but a game of League. Whoa! Hold the phone.
In the aftermath of this clip going viral, Bwipo was suspended from his team FlyQuest until after their next series in the LTA playoffs. On top of that, they will be donating his event prize money to causes that support women in gaming. They also directly call out Bwipo's sexist comments and reference to FlyQuest Red, their own female Valorant team, adding, quote, comments that might discourage even one young woman from pursuing her dream of becoming a pro player harm the future of esports. Since Bwipo has come out to apologize, saying, quote, I know I f***ed up. My comments were ignorant and disrespectful to women, including those close to me. I'm sorry to those I hurt. I regret using my platform to fuel vitriol and sexism instead of support. For the time being, that's all we heard from the top laner, who will be appearing at Worlds with his team in October. But this isn't exactly the end of the story, or at least not the full context, because this actually wasn't the first time Bwipo apologized that day. Bwipo has always been a larger-than-life personality, often landing himself in hot water, not just for his takes on the game of League of Legends, but as well as comments he's made about his opponents.
Everything about Europe is great, except the pro players that are absolutely boosted and don't see it and pretend like they're not, and they have ego. Those people, and they can get if the second they accept that that's true, but until then, them. Paycheck stealing pieces of whatever you want to add there, but that's what I think of them, okay? And I'm not joking.
Clips like this have earned Bwipo a reputation, and while some enjoy his candidness, others find his commentary unnecessary, condescending, and unproductive. And even as recently as 2 days ago, Bwipo released an apology, or rather explanation video, regarding his beef with 100 Thieves coach and top laner Dokla, as well as his own mental health struggles. For those out of the loop, Bwipo has been critical of Dokla for a while now, but it came to a head back in June when Bwipo said this on his stream.
Dogs beating G2 was legendary. What I remember, that was the furthest away from a top gap, but I could be wrong. I mean, don't get me wrong, having 1 good year out of 6 is still a good year. That's nice, you know, happy for him, but like, let's not pretend that that's impressive.
Then, at their recent series at the LTA North Conference Finals, Dokla decided to not shake hands or fist bump Bwipo before and after losing their series to FlyQuest. In a post-game interview, Bwipo was asked about it, and he made several jabs towards Dokla before the two took to Twitter to continue the drama. Bwipo released a lengthy tweet detailing his own career and struggles, while saying that he didn't mean any ill intent in his comments. He was essentially just stating what he believed to be the truth. Fans responded, claiming that Bwipo was missing the point of why Dokla was upset completely, that he should just learn to apologize or keep his mouth shut. Now, while all of this was going on, Bwipo was also in a completely different spat with I Will Dominate. In that situation, after losing a scrim series to C9, Bwipo ranted in an interview about C9 celebrating that win by going to a Korean barbecue after, essentially calling it unserious. In reality, Dom explained that they were just going for a team dinner and would have gone regardless of the results of that scrim. In his own video on the subject, Dom called Bwipo a liar and a narcissist, while the community was just pretty confused about Bwipo's outburst altogether. The point is, Bwipo had seemingly been picking a lot of fights with people and causing conflict for no real reason. Fast forward to around noon on Tuesday, where Bwipo posted a video sort of apologizing to Dokla for the comments he made, while also discussing his struggles with mental health in the past, and how they may have played a part in some of his previous controversies. I say some of his previous controversies because he later admits in that video that the situation with Dokla didn't have to do with his mental health struggles, but rather because he was tired, got rage baited by chat, and spoke his mind, which is something he said he will never do again publicly. Kind of a half-assed apology if you ask me personally, but still, it might have been enough for some people to accept and maybe move on from all this recent bullshit. You see, I bring all of this up because the same day he released that apology video, the clip about his comments regarding women in competitive gaming surfaced, sparking an all-new bigger controversy that ultimately got him suspended. I say surfaced because what's really interesting is that the clip in question is actually from a stream on September 2nd, before the apology video, before the conference finals, before the Korean barbecue. It's pure speculation, but I think it's entirely possible that all this drama Bwipo's been embroiled in with Dokla and Dom resulted in someone finding this moment from his stream, clipping it, and then posting it over a week later. I'm obviously not trying to excuse it. In fact, I'm actually trying to spell out a pattern of Bwipo putting his foot in his mouth. And mind you, this is all during a time where he should be proud and excited, having just received an MVP and making it to Worlds. As for where we stand now, Bwipo will be sitting out FlyQuest series against Keystars. As for any other disciplinary action from Riot themselves, we'll just have to wait and see.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring the notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit us up on our X, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.